After Ethereum had one of its worst crashes I can remember, we are finally starting to see some strength with Ethereum and the altcoin market. You know, if you look at Ethereum here, it came down over 26% during that dip, and it's now recovered a lot of those losses down only around 8% or 9% from that dip. Still not amazing, but it is starting to show some strength, and hopefully the altcoin market can recover and we can kick on this altcoin season in time for a massive, massive bull run this year. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 4 projects which are ultra high conviction plays right now, and then I will give you also a bonus project at the end which could produce even more returns, but my conviction on it is just a little bit less than the 4 that I mentioned today. Now, if we look at the whole market right now, we are starting to see green across the board. Pretty much every project here is in green, apart from a couple examples. And, you know, this fills me with a lot of confidence. It's good to see the market seeing a bit of strength, but obviously we've got to monitor the macroeconomic situation. We've got to monitor the tariffs. Obviously, the tariffs with Mexico, they were actually withdrawn and postponed for a month. And I think a lot of this from Trump is actually political maneuvering, political negotiation, especially regarding the US border. And, you know, Mexico have agreed to put a load of troops on the border. If they don't solve this issue, Trump will probably put the tariffs back on Mexico. So we need to monitor this situation very closely. I don't really talk about politics or economics too much on the channel, but now more than ever, it's very, very important that you're keeping up to date with the political side of things and with the tariffs. Because obviously this dump was completely and utterly because of that. You know, had Trump not gone and put those tariffs on multiple countries, we wouldn't have seen such a capitulation, such a panic. And what I purely think this is uncertainty. Okay, it's short-term uncertainty. There's no structural weakness necessarily in the economy. The job market is still strong. Inflation's come down. The markets generally have been strong as well. The business cycle has been strong. All this is market uncertainty. And the market does not like uncertainty. It likes to know where it's going, even if it's bad news. It just wants to know the trajectory for the next few months. And the uncertainty, I think, is what's caused this dump. Alongside, obviously, the fact that the DXY has gone up. If the DXY goes up, crypto goes down. There's an inverse correlation between the strength of the dollar and Bitcoin strength, okay? If the dollar's very strong, Bitcoin comes down. It's really that simple. So hopefully all of this gets solved and we can kick off this altcoin season, because I still think there's a ton of time. Historically speaking, the total free really, really starts to ramp up around the middle of February. It's not necessarily the beginning. It's not necessarily even January. It's usually around the middle of February that we get that really, really parabolic move. And if you look at it here, from around February to April or May, the total free saw massive, massive gains. And this is where I personally made most of my profits in crypto. I remember buying Doji on Mars literally like the day or the day after it came out, and it freaking skyrocketed. I made more money in my life than I ever have, and I was just in college. Okay, I was looking at my phone under the desk, and I was making crazy profits. And that is going to happen again. And we want to be positioned in the best possible altcoins for that rally. Because if you've realized anything already this cycle, not every single coin performs well. It's not as simple as just buy any coin and you'll make a 10x, okay? Some coins will do a 50x, some coins will do nothing. It's not a situation where everyone wins. Some people win really, really big, and some people lose. And the vast, vast majority of people in crypto actually end up losing. So I think a sensible portfolio should be structured with a majority of high conviction plays. It's fine to have those high risk coins. I personally have been buying some high risk coins over in my VIP group, some low caps, which I'm not going to share today because this video isn't necessarily on low caps. It's fine to have them, but don't over allocate to them because they are very risky. And in the last few months, the coins which have held up the most have been your blue chips. Okay. So let that be a lesson learned for the people who have been going very, very heavy into low caps. It's not sustainable. It's not guaranteed money. There might be a YouTuber out there that tells you it's a guaranteed 100x, but I'm sorry, they're talking out of their ass. Nothing is a guaranteed 100x in crypto. Sure, if you want to make a 5 to 10x, if you want to make a 15x, your chances are much, much higher. I think it's very possible that most people watching this video could make those types of returns, But if you're talking a 20x, 30, 40, 50, you're starting to get into the realm of unlikely, especially at this point in the cycle when Bitcoin is around 100K. So without further ado, let's get into the projects I'm going to share with you today. And then I will get into the bonus pick. Okay, the bonus pick that I'm going to share with you is one which could potentially outperform all of these, but it is a little bit riskier and my conviction is just slightly less. But anyway, straight into the first pick on the list, it would be Potenza Tau. This is at 3 billion right now in market cap, $365 per coin. And I'm pretty impressed with the Potenza Tau chart. It has been in a sideways consolidation pattern. And, to be honest, it's held up considerably well with the rest of the market, despite the rest of the market taking a very strong dump recently. It's down 50% from all-time highs. And that might sound like a lot, but there's a ton of projects which are down a lot more than that. Okay, if you take something like Virtuals, we pull up the Virtuals chart, you can see that this one is down 70% from all-time highs. So Potenza Tau has held up considerably well. And talking about Virtuals, Tau is going to be implementing something very similar, where all of the projects on Tau, all of the subnets on Tau, have their own tokens. This is going to increase engagement with the Tau ecosystem, and it's going to allow you to actually become a stakeholder in some of these different AI subnets, which obviously enhances the network. So I'm very impressed with what Tau is doing going forward. They still don't have a Coinbase listing, but they are on Binance and Crypto.com. It's the king of AI at 2.9 billion market cap in the very strongest sector of this bull run. I would not underestimate Tau. I think it's easily got a 7 to 15x left in it this bull run. So let's see what happens. Next pick on the list, which I actually bought a little bag of during this dip. I bought it around 9 cents, is Casper. And I never thought I would say that I bought more because I already bought a ton of Casper around 3 cents and 4 cents. My average is just around the 4 cent mark. I did buy some around 8 cents and 7 cents and 9 cents, but it was very small DCAs. The majority of my Casper which I purchased was all the way down around 3 cents, where I bought a bulk ton in one go. Now, Casper is quite similar to Tau in a way. It's just been ranging for a long time, and eventually is going to break out to the upside. And the breakout is going to be very, very brutal, especially for those who are sideliners, because you're going to be crying, you're going to be whinging, and Casper's going to be having a God candle. And I expect that God candle to come around the time that Binance list Casper. We've got a ton of things coming to Casper. The Crescendo upgrade, a Binance listing, it's going to be massive, okay? So do not underestimate Casper right now. At 10 cents, many people thought they would never, ever get an opportunity to buy Casper at 10 or below. You had that opportunity. I hope you took advantage of it. And even if you didn't, it's still at 10 cents, okay? Yeah, sure, it went down to 8 or 7, but 10 isn't that much higher. And I'm sure when it goes to $1 or even higher in the bull run, it's going to look like an excellent buy. Now, my third buy on the list would be Render right now, okay? Render has come all the way down to $4.70, and it looks very, very nice from a charting point of view for me. You can see here, it had a nice bounce off previous support. It came down. Let me just pull up this chart from Crypto Rand. It came down here, hit support at $3.30, came back up previously, and then it came down again during this capitulation, hit support, and came back up. So it's looking quite strong to me. I don't see any reason why Render would put in a further low unless the rest of the market for some reason capitulated right now, which I see as being unlikely but not impossible. And you're buying this at a 65% discount to the high that it made earlier on in the year. Guys, Render, it's the king of deep-in, you could say. The GPU narrative, it's going to be very, very strong. The demands for GPUs when it comes to AI, when it comes to gaming and all these things is only going to increase in the future. I don't see any reason why it's going to stagnate. Some people will say, well, the emergence of DeepSeek AI, that's really put the focus less on the GPUs and more on the actual software and the technology. But still, guys, GPUs are still going to be needed. So I wouldn't be ignoring something like Render. Even the idea of DeepSeek, in a way, it favors Render, because what was DeepSeek? It was an open source AI platform. What is Render? It's a cryptocurrency on chain. Most cryptos, most blockchains are decentralized and they are open source. So To me, the DeepSeek thing actually favors a project like Render rather than tampering it, because it puts the favor over in the direction of decentralized protocols, open source, transparent protocols, as opposed to something very closed source like OpenAI, right? The irony there about it being open, when in reality, OpenAI, ChatGPT is the most closed source out of all of them. Now, the final extremely high conviction play coin right now is Sui. Guys, this is my largest altcoin holding right now, and there's a reason for it. Okay, it is a very, very strong project. It's the Solana of this cycle, and it's sat at 10 billion right now. If it was to go to Solana's market cap from last bull run, you're still talking just less than a 10x. Okay, you're talking around an 8x, which to me is still a great return. I mean, where else can you make 8 times your money in a year or less than a year? There's not many places out there, guys. So Sui remains one of the strongest projects. They've got Phantom Wallet coming to Sui. There's going to be a meme degen space on Sui, which is going to grow in strength. They've got a big emphasis on gaming. Guys, Miston Labs, Meta, Libra Project, it just makes sense. You've got really seasoned professionals behind this one, and the connections they have to people in the crypto space is second to none. So you're buying a project here, which is going to have a very strong ecosystem. It's extremely fast using the Move programming language. So it's a bit different to many others that use maybe Rust or the Ethereum programming language. So I'm betting on Sui pretty big this bull run, and I know a lot of other people are. And I still think it has at least a 7 or 8x left in the tank looking at the market cap right now. I wasn't saying that when it was up here, okay? When it was up there, I was saying it was like a 3 to 6x. But because it's dipped considerably, the ROI has also increased. So that's the beauty of seeing a dip on something like Sui. Okay, now the final project and my kind of slightly higher risk project on this list would be Say. And it's still relatively safe in terms of for a crypto because it is on Coinbase, it is on Binance, and has a $1 billion market cap valuation. So it's not necessarily like a degen low cap or anything, but it's just a little bit riskier than the others I shared today, and my conviction in it is just slightly less, but I'm sharing it for a reason. Say, as of right now, is 380% away from its all-time high price, okay? In terms of if it was to start pumping to all-time highs right now. So if you're buying Say right now, you can potentially 4.8x your money just to the ATH. You need to realize that is incredible on a blue chip coin with over $1 billion market cap valuation. Really, really strong project here. It's a layer one with a focus on infrastructure for exchanges, order books, these types of things. Okay, so they're doing a lot of back end stuff. So it's not necessarily the most exciting degen project with loads of memes on it. You know, Solana or Sui would be seen more of a retail focused layer one. I would say that Say is much more of an institutional back end infrastructural layer one focused on liquidity, dexes, order books, those types of things. Okay. Think of it in a way similar to something like Injective, which also has a focus on the back end, the infrastructure as well. Okay, so I am extremely bullish on this in terms of its ROI potential. They raised $95 million, which is a very good number. It's very respectable. With Binance doing a launch pool, you can see some of the investors, Circle, Multicoin Capital, some very big VCs here, some tier ones were heavily investing in Say. And I'm looking at the market cap. It's exactly at that 1 billion mark. You know, if this was to do a 20x, you're talking a 20 billion market cap. That's not impossible. So you can still hit a 20x in this market with a strong blue chip coin. And for me, if I'm looking for a somewhat safe 15 to 20x, this would be the type of token I'd be looking at. So definitely check out Say. But yeah, all these projects that I've showed of you today have massive, massive potential. And I'm really, really bullish on them in the next few months. If you want to get more buy alerts and see exactly what I'm buying, bear in mind I bought a gaming project that I think is like 10 million in market cap or lower, okay, just recently. If you want to get really small cap buy alerts like that, alongside a 24/7 active Discord community, definitely go check out the VIP group. It's linked in the description. people are in here talking all the time, guys. You can see as I'm doing this video right now, people in the group, they're talking about the market, they're bouncing ideas back and forth, and they're very, very productive. Your chances of success being in a group like this with a clear focus and vision versus being a lone wolf are drastically, drastically higher. Okay, there's a guidance section where you can get your portfolio reviewed, and you can request charting on any coin from my personal technical analyst expert Cryptex. Guys, do not underestimate the power of a group like this. Not only do you get great buy alerts, you get a 24/7 active community where you have voice chats every single day. I was in the voice chat last night for a few hours. We were deep diving into RWA. Got a couple RWA projects close to my chest. Some of the members know about them. We discussed them in the call. So appreciate you guys watching the video. If you want these buy alerts along with a great community, check it out in the description. And I'll see all of you guys in my next video tomorrow. Have a very great day.